Okay, video number 7, I believe. Now we're in our in my Refuting Dubay series here. First 5 videos were addressing Eric Dubay's claims in the video level, and number 6 was one of his minions, ODD TV, and now we are in video number 7 to address another one of Eric Dubay's minions. This guy is named Dave Murphy, seemingly one of the more rational of the
We're
group.
told that the sun is a massive ball of burning gas 93 million miles away.
Okay, let me just get a little picky on this right here. We are told that the sun is a massive ball of burning gas, he said. The sun is a ball of, I'm glad he said ball, of hydrogen, basically. And my understanding is that it is not actually burning, and that's the word I want to address in his sentence. Now, you can use that word as a basic generalization to get the point across, I suppose, but technically it is not true. Burning something, as we know of here on Earth, requires oxygen, etc., for the whole burning process to occur, and then the result is ash and gases, right? But that is not what the sun actually does. The sun is going through some sort of a nuclear fission process, and it's not burning. Two different concepts, yet they kind of look the same from this far away, so I just wanted to point that tiny little discrepancy out in his words. It is not burning, but I suppose you could say it is if you want to get that point across.
But if that were true, then all the light that arrives here would be parallel because it's so far away. And it has to be parallel because one of the most often cited supposed globe proofs is Eratosthenes' experiment between Alexandria and Syene,
Yes.
by which he calculated the size of the Earth.
Mm-hmm.
For that calculation to be accurate, the light must come down parallel. The only problem is that that's not what we see.
Oh.
If you go out on a sunny day with broken cloud, what you'll see is that light comes down at angles, diverging angles.
Oh, so he is going into this. I know that I've already addressed this for a short while in the first video, I think it was, or was it the second one, with Dubay, where he gives you some quick thing about this, where the shadows wouldn't look like this, supposedly. But this is another just bad argument from the flat earthers. I'm going to keep going and see how far he goes into this.
And that means that we can follow those light rays back to the source and triangulate the sun's height above the Earth.
Okay, yeah, and this is the problem. You can follow these light rays back to a source. He is under the assumption that the light rays are pointing directly to the sun itself. That is not true. Secondly, he said earlier that there's always clouds involved. That's true, because clouds cause refraction. This is the problem with this argument. When you see the light, let's see if I can find a good, this is decent, although not really. Why don't you give me a good video of light rays? Okay, so this is kind of okay, I suppose. So this light ray points to there, and this light ray points to there, this one to there, to there, and they're claiming that if you measure all of those angles out, that it only points to several miles up. I don't know how many miles they're claiming these days, because no flat earther has an actual accepted number for this. Some of them claim it's 2,000 miles up there, some 3,000 miles, some 5,000 miles, whatever. But none of them agree how high their supposed local sun is. But here's the problem with their science. The light from the sun comes at the Earth through a vacuum of space that does not cause any refraction. Once the sunlight hits the Earth's atmosphere, this is the big key here, then it starts refracting because it is now bending through matter, through the gases of our atmosphere. Nitrogen, oxygen, a little bit of carbon dioxide, right? Mostly nitrogen in our Earth's air. So, because of the Earth's atmosphere, that's where the light starts to bend. And that is what these light rays are all pointing to. The edge of our atmosphere where the sun first hits it. That is what's going on in these photos, in these videos. It's as simple as that. Now, I know that every flat earther is going to be like, you're a liar, it's not true. Well, prove me wrong. But that, you know, you guys are asserting that these light rays have to be pointing to a local sun, and I'm giving you an alternate explanation that goes along with the known science of refraction. So, I've got my alternate explanation. I'm pretty sure mine is the one that's going to stand up to scientific scrutiny instead of yours. So, where are we here?
Millions of miles away. But we can also perform physical experiments that prove that these crepuscular rays, as they're called,
Ooh, big word.
can only be recreated with a light source that is small and close.
Really?
It doesn't take a genius to understand that the further the light source goes up,
Oh, Dubay is still in here. I thought I'd snipped out his stuff, but okay.
the more the sun rays would spread out and become parallel. The reason you'd even think that the
If the
sun...
Earth was flat, wouldn't it be sunny all the time? I mean, have they ever even thought about it?
Well, if you'd let me...
Okay. Yeah, I remember this, and I gotta address something else in here. Notice they get this... I don't know who this guy is, but he obviously is mocking the flat earthers. But he's kind of a goofy-looking guy himself in some way, in the way that they see it. So they're using this glober to mock globers. But listen to what he said. He's absolutely right.
The reason you'd even think that the
If
sun...
the Earth was flat, wouldn't it be sunny all the time? I mean, have they ever even thought about it?
Well, if you'd let me finish...
You just edited that into your video and concocted that he somehow interrupted you. Who does that? The devil does that. Creating a fake interruption?
The reason you'd even think that the
If the
sun...
Earth was
See, that's video editing. This guy didn't come in and interrupt what Eric Dubay was saying, but he plays it off
If you'd let me finish...
as if he interrupted him. Dubay, this is your video. You're in charge of the editing. I don't know if you did the actual editing yourself, but this is obviously a contrived thing to try and make that poor guy just look like an idiot. Who does that? The devil does stuff like that. Now, what did he say?
You'd even think that the
If the
sun...
Earth was flat, wouldn't it be sunny all the time?
Yeah,
I mean, have they ever even thought about it?
Well,
that's absolutely true. Now, watch the way they try and squirm out of this.
if you'd let me finish... The reason you'd even think the sun would be visible from anywhere on Earth is because of the images they have shown you.
I'm pretty sure that it's the flat earthers that are making these kind of images because they're the ones that want to believe in a flat earth, so they draw up a picture of what they think it looks like. Now, this one is, on the back of a turtle and on elephants, and that's mythological stuff from many thousands of years ago, I suppose. And somebody made a CGI version of it. I don't know. Maybe that one was made to mock you guys. I don't know. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, this one. That's basically what you guys believe. It's a pizza. It's a big flat pizza, and so if these don't represent what you flat earthers believe, and these are just the images that we have made up, or they made up, as you want to say, then show us yours. Show us your picture of what this flat earth actually looks like if these are their false representations of what your flat earth actually looks like. Then where's the flat earth model? Where is one working flat earth model? It doesn't exist.
I've shown you. No one promoting this bullshit stands for
Oh. Well, that's too bad. I thought I snipped out all of the profanity from these sinners, but
truth.
sorry that one got
You can
past
keep
me.
believing in your fantasy gas ball 93 million miles away.
You can keep believing in your fantasy gas ball.
While we keep experimenting to try and figure out what the sun actually is.
Okay. Now, did you notice how he just went into a demonic rant there? You know, listen.
No one promoting this bullshit stands for truth. You can keep believing in your fantasy gas.
Do you hear it in his voice? I hear it. I hear how the demon has taken over, and there's an anger behind what he said, and maybe that's God's providence of why the swear word ended up back in there anyways. Okay? They get angry when they get close to being refuted, and then just go into this rhetorical thing of, you can believe what you want, blah, blah, blah. Right? This is a demonic retort. This is not actual science. Because listen to what he says.
You can keep believing in your fantasy gas ball 93 million miles away.
You can keep believing in your fantasy gas ball.
Well, thank you. I'll believe it because empirical science suggests that.
While we keep experimenting to try and figure out what the sun actually is.
So he admits here that they don't know what the sun actually is. They're absolutely certain that it's not 93 million miles away, and it's, I don't know, do you believe it's a hydrogen ball? I think whatever we claim it is, you will automatically suggest, no, that's not true, no matter what. So, what is the sun? If it's not a big ball of hydrogen that's going through nuclear fusion, then what is it? Oh, you don't know. Oh, so you're doing experiments to try and figure out what the sun actually is, compared to all the experiments over the last several centuries, because those experiments over the last centuries were just to create a globe hoax. Wow, there's a whole lot of logic in all of that, right?
And how close it could be. With a local hotspot, it should be easy to comprehend that...
Local hotspot. Does anybody understand what this means?
That the sun is small and close to you.
To put that in perspective...
What did that just prove?
It should be easy to comprehend.
Okay. I'm not seeing it. What exactly is this supposedly proving? That the sun is closer to the camera than this thing is? Because there's some sort of an overlap here? Is that what he's seriously trying to claim? So this little thing on the end of a stick, sticking out just a little bit, I would guess that's a matter of feet in front of the camera lens. And then the sun comes by and it radiates. It radiates seemingly in front of the top of the head of this thing? Are you seriously trying to claim that the sun is in front of this little bear or whatever that is? Is that the claim here? See, here's another thing about this Dubay video, is that they put stuff up on the screen and just never explain what it means. How is this proving something? What is the scientific experiment here?
Comprehend that the sun is small and close to you.
To put that in perspective, imagine
And that's it. It fades out. What did that supposedly prove? Apparently, I am just too dumb to understand what that was supposed to prove, right? Or they're thinking it proves something when it proves absolutely nothing, and I can see right through it as proof of nothing. I'll go with that one.
table 2 meters wide in a completely dark room, and you're holding a small but very bright light bulb.
This is hilarious.
3.4 millimeters across. And you were holding it about 31 centimeters above the table. What you'd see is a circular pool of light directly on the table, you know, beneath the light bulb.
That's fascinating.
But on the other side of the table, it would be in darkness. Now, it seems to our mind that if you were on the other side of the table, you would see the light.
Really? Yeah. That does seem very, very obvious to me. Yeah.
It's, you know, above the table.
Yep.
But that's not true.
No,
because
it's not.
on that part of the table, it's in darkness, meaning that the light isn't physically reaching that part of the tabletop.
Really? Then why can I see the flashlight itself up in the sky? There is the flaw in their argument. They want to claim that while you're over here on this dark part of the flat earth, while the sun is over here, that you won't be able to see any of that sun down there on the earth. And while that would be true, you would still be able to see the actual sun up in the sky. And it's proven right here in this video because you can see the flashlight. So if I'm in the dark over here on the earth, or even over here on the earth, why can't I see the sun as it's shining below? It's something else too. How far back do I gotta go? Okay. So let's start it back here. So we've got, there we go, right? He's shining a flashlight down on the globe. That's what he thinks the sun does. But let's think about something here. See, here as well, you can see the flashlight above there. As it's shining down, and none of the light is shining over here, you can still see the actual flashlight above. That is the flaw in their experiment. Why can't we see the sun up in the sky if it never goes below the horizon? I don't care if you think the sun is only pointing down. We should still be able to see it. Now, does your sun have a shield around it in some way? Because a flashlight does. Did they show the actual flashlight? No, I'm not seeing the actual flashlight, am I? They don't actually show what this flashlight looks like. But, well, this is a decent thing. You see how there's a, it's obviously a disc at an angle, so it looks like an oval. But we know what a flashlight looks like. There's a cylinder up here. There's a cylinder here. Round cylinder, piece of plastic that directs the light to come straight out of a two-dimensional lens. Now, it's just a piece of plastic, so calling it a lens might not be the right thing, but it just shines the light straight through a two-dimensional piece of plastic. And that is what causes this circle of light on the ground with defined edges. But the sun isn't shaped like a flashlight. The sun is shaped like a huge sphere. So the light from the sun is going to go in all directions, not just straight down like a flashlight. This is a bad experiment. It does not match what the sun does to the earth with what this flashlight does on a globe. Bad experimentation from a flat earther. What do you know?
We're also told that the sun sets because as the earth rotates us away from the sun, it's actually obscured by the physical curvature of the earth. That's not what we see.
That is exactly what we see. And he is about to go from observational science to it's an illusion. That's going to be his claim. So flat earthers almost always are claiming trust your senses, trust your eyes, trust your eyes, the horizon is always flat. Trust your senses, you never feel the earth rotating. Trust these kind of senses. But now he's going to tell you don't trust your eyes, it's just an illusion.
What we see is a local sun that is taking its
I sure saw that sun going down.
local light with it. What
That's not what we see.
What we see is a local sun that is taking its
Look at that. I see a local sun. No, I see a faraway sun way up here, and it's going to go down. It's actually going down in a curve this way, I suppose, but it is going down. Sun's up here. Horizon is here.
What we see is a local sun that is taking its local light with it. What
I see a sun that is going down towards the horizon.
happened to the horizon glowing across half of the world? Most sunsets are already fading through pollution, dander, chemtrails, and fog. Plus, refraction will always make the sun seem like it's going down.
Oh, now they believe in refraction. See, they'll use refraction as an excuse for the sun hitting the horizon. But they refuse to believe in refraction when we explain that that's how you see Chicago from the other side of Lake Michigan. They pick and choose when they'll accept refraction and when they won't. This is bad science.
As well as your perspective.
It would appear
That sure looks like a sun is going down to me. Look, it's in his own video.
As well as your
Down,
perspective.
down,
It would
down,
appear
down.
to
That
see-
is down. How can you possibly tell me that that is just getting further away?
As well as your perspective.
It also stays the same size the entire time.
it would appear to sink down in your field of view.
Look. They have to use confusing CGI to try and get their fake science to make any sense.
Your field of view.
It's fake science.
That's perspective.
No, it's not perspective.
The further away you get from it, the
Look. Sun goes down, and then they go away. Then they edit away before it actually goes below the horizon. These people are really delusional, and it's caused by a spirit of confusion.
from it, the lower it will appear.
Okay, using these various shots like the hallway shot and the freeway shot is not comparable to the horizon shot. It's not. It's just confusing.
It doesn't physically change its height, it just appears that way to your eyes.
See? It doesn't change its height. It just appears that way according to your eyes. It's just an illusion. But every flat earther tells you to trust your senses. Except for here. Delusional.
until eventually it will disappear
Down,
behind
down,
the horizon
down,
formed by
down.
your eye's vanishing point.
Sure seems like it's
Your
going down
eye
to
has
me.
an angular resolution of 0.2 degrees. And anything at that height will disappear beyond the limit of your sight.
At what height?
And anything...
No, I didn't hear what he said.
Your eye has an angular resolution of 0.2 degrees.
Ooh, that sounds really scientific sounding. So they're claiming that something is too far away for the human eye to be able to see because the human eye can only see so far. And yet we do know that the sun is 93 million miles away, and we can see it just fine. So this vanishing point thing, while there is some supposed truth to it, it is still a deceptive argument from these flat earthers. Okay? You want to claim that we can't see it because it's too small for us. But you don't have actual proof of that. That is your assertion. So you're just stacking an assertion on top of another assertion, on top of another flat earth assertion, on top of another flat earth assertion, and then they all add up to you can't see that far away. And you wonder why people get so frustrated and why people drop to the level of calling you names that I won't call you, but your science is just bad. It's just wrong, bad science.
And anything at that height will disappear beyond the limit of your sight.
That's just not true. If something is large enough, it ain't going to disappear from your sight just because it's far away. The moon is 250,000 miles away-ish. I think that's the number. It's 250,000 miles. And we see it every night, in general. You know, it's really far away. So this claim that you can only see so far before everything vanishes away is just not true. If something's big enough, you can see it really, really far away. And that's the case with the sun and the moon. And the planets, for that matter. Of course, Jupiter is really, really, really huge compared to the Earth. And we can see it from the Earth. But it's really, really small because of how far away it is. So all of this mumbo-jumbo that you gave us here is just bad science.
Many times we can see time-lapse footage of the sun that shows it getting smaller as it moves away from us.
Really? Really? Is that what we're seeing there? Is that what we're seeing? First of all, I don't know what the focal length of this particular video shot is, so we don't know how zoomed in this is or is not. What I see is a lot of radiance, okay? Because the flat earth assertion here is going to be that this is the sun. That is the edges of the sun. And now that's the edges of the sun, and it is smaller. So he's cherry-picked a video here to show you that, yeah, we do see the sun getting smaller and smaller as it gets further away. But this is deceptive. Everybody that's ever watched a sunset, or anybody that's actually been outside for all day, knows that the sun is the same size when it's straight up ahead, straight up above you, or whether it's 3 o'clock, whether it's 9 in the morning, whether it's sunset or sunrise. It's always generally the same size. Now, the only time it might change a little bit in size is because of refraction. And that only happens at sunset or sunrise, because that's when it goes through the thickest part of our Earth's atmosphere, and that's what causes the light to refract. Now, in this video here, I see a generally true size of the sun here at the end, and over here, that's radiance of the sun. That's not the actual sun that you're seeing there. The actual sun's inside there. But you're seeing the radiance of the sun so big coming from it because it's that bright. That's what light does. So this is just a deceptively cherry-picked video that makes it look like it gets smaller as it gets further away. Nice try.
Now, that's not always the case.
Show me that same effect on every single sunset. You won't find it, because it doesn't do that. This is a cherry-picked thing going through a thick atmosphere that causes all of that refraction.
Since the sun is travelling around the North Pole, the closer you are to the north, the less you'll see the size change.
Now, look what he just did. Look what he just did. He shows you that. He shows you that last one, and then out of nowhere, he shows you the perfect clip for me. Because watch this sun. It stays the same size the entire time and goes down below the horizon. Why on earth did you guys put this clip in your video? It refutes you.
North, the less
Look at
you'll
that.
see
Down,
the
down,
size
down,
change.
always the same size. Why did you include this video? It refuted you.
But from locations beyond the equator, you'll absolutely see the sun's size change.
Radiance, down.
And that could never ever happen if the sun was 93 million.
It's radiance. It's just radiance. It looks so huge. Nobody sees a sun this big in the sky. This is a radiance issue. It probably actually looks this way on film, and not even with the human eye. Now, how would you prove that, though?
You'll absolutely.
But it's
see the
going
sun's size
down.
change.
Okay, it's going down. It's way up here now, and it goes. Now it's down here, compared to the building there. There's a building there, and it's on the same level. But up here, it's not on the same level. It is going down.
Sun's size change. And that could never ever happen if the sun was 93 million miles away. You wouldn't see the sun change at all.
Our eyes cannot see farther than what they were designed to see.
See, and they just keep reasserting that same false stuff over and over again. But look, it's going down and staying the same size.
But that is no reason to keep them closed.
Down.
There's also an
Down.
effect
Down. It's
that
going
occurs under certain
down.
conditions.
Why do you keep saying that it's not going down?
But that is
Your own videos are refuting you.
no reason to keep them closed.
There's also an effect that occurs under certain conditions called atmospheric lensing, where the
Oh, so there's another illusion.
sheer amount of atmosphere, as well as the rain between you and the sun, acts like a lens and a prism, magnifying it greatly, which leads to another observational proof that the sun setting is an optical effect. At such times, when the sun is setting over the sea, and it seems as though it's half hidden by the horizon,
Watch this.
then you can zoom in with a high-powered zoom camera
Oh, yeah. Look at
and
that.
see that it's actually still above the horizon.
Wow, look at that. A perfect circle. Not. Why is this distorted right there? Huh? Why is that a little distorted over here? Why is this seemingly a perfect spherical top to the sun, but then there's this weird non-spherical bottom to it? Why is the bottom of the sun distorted? I think I know why. It's because it is below the horizon and being distorted through refraction.
It's just an optical illusion.
I think the key takeaway from this particular one is how the flat earthers will pick and choose when an illusion is okay and when an illusion is not okay. So they want you to think that the sun going below the horizon is just an optical illusion, and ships going over the edge is just an optical illusion. But if the Earth was spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, you would definitely be able to feel that. So trust your feelings. Trust your senses. The hypocrisy between these two concepts just astounds me. That you'll choose to believe in an illusion when it fits your flat earth fantasy, but you won't understand why you would not feel the movement of an entire planet when all the earth is moving, all the air is moving with it, and we're moving along with it too. Why would you feel it? Why would you feel constant spinning if we're just spinning along with it? And you can tell them that it's the same thing as in a car going 60 miles an hour, the same thing as being in a plane at 400 miles, 500 miles an hour, and you can't feel the motion. You feel the vibration of the vehicle, but you don't feel the actual 60 miles an hour. You don't feel any of that. So it just astounds me how they end up thinking that sometimes it's an illusion and sometimes you have to trust your senses, and they have everything backwards. That's the end of this one. Dave, another Dave. There's so many Daves involved in this. Dave, Flat Earth Dave, Dave McKeegan, Professor Dave, and then this guy Dave Murphy. It's kind of funny. Too many Daves.